how's it going? I'm back with more Cinders. A Cinderella-esque visual novel slash dating sim thing. But yes, we are continuing with Cinders. A lot happened last time. We found out Madame Guide is gonna be leaving the town, which is fine because Harold is gonna be like quitting his job at the guard as the prince's guard or whatever, and we said we'd go with him. We kind of like said that he should just retire and blah blah blah, and we're gonna go with him, which is what we want. And if Madame Guide is leaving too, maybe the three of us can leave together. That's what I want. I mean, there's still the masquerade ball that's got to go on, and that's probably still gonna be a thing, and yeah. We'll see how that goes. Oh no, there's something going on with the fairies at the lake. Yeah, no idea yet. We'll find out. Let's continue. Yeah, this one. Okay. Jeez. I don't remember what voices I was using, so. Rise and shine, sis. What is it? Oh, is it morning already? Someone had an eventful night. I've had the strangest dream. At least I think it was a dream. Or maybe... There's no time to discuss dreams, Cinders. We're leaving. What time is it? Time when only strumpets and their johns are up and about. Sophia, that was vile. That was the truth. It's barely sunrise, and I should be fast asleep. Don't expect me to prance like some deranged pony just because there's some big, ridiculous party coming up. Oh, why did you have to get me up then? What It's not ridiculous. I mean, there are preparations to be made, and we should be taking them seriously. We had to get up an hour ago. We need to get those dresses corrected, and who knows how much time that will take. Oh, yeah, grand ball. Come on, we need to go now. Yes, I'm coming. Cinders, we'll be gone for the rest of the day. The house will be left under your supervision. Do you think you can manage that? Don't be dense. Of course she can manage. There are more well-oiled cogs in that pretty head than in yours and mine combined. Or maybe just yours. Now let's move. I can manage things for a day, Gloria. No worries. Alright, we're going then. Bye. Toodles! Have fun. I mean, who wants to go to a freaking party? There's like people there. We don't people. Come on. Okay. Your volume. Why does it sound super low? Or is there just no music right now? Everybody's gone except me. Oh, it is just kind of quiet right now. I thought that was a bit weird. Okay. Back to their important businesses, plots, and grand balls. Why would they care about what I may want? It's just poor little Cinders, no one important. What could such a meek creature do but just sit and whine and then comply? Well, not this time. Today is going to be different. It's the first day of the rest of my life, and it's high time I made some changes. I don't yet know how, but I'm going to that ball, and I'll make their jaws drop. And when I get back, everything is going to be different. Up until now, I've only waited, heaven knows what for. Complaining and whining didn't get me far either, also a surprise. So let's start acting reasonable. I have an aim and I will achieve it. I will make the changes happen. I need to show Carmosa, Gloria, and Sophia I can accomplish great things when I put my mind to it. It won't be easy, but let's face it. It would have no value if it was. Shouldn't it be if it would have no value if it were? Anyways. I need a plan though. Or at least a dress and a way to get into the ball. The rest I can just wing. Both Madame Gide and that creature from the lake offered to help me when I finally know what I want. I swear, it's like I have two fairy godmothers. Let's do that a bit. There we go. Having help is a nice change, though. A sign the tables are already turning. So, whose word should I trust? To whom would it be better to be indebted? Who's less likely to mess it up for me? Oh shit, I can actually choose? Well, I mean, obviously we're gonna do Madame Gide. I mean... obviously. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, fairies, but... I'm still hopeful that there's an ending with myself, Madame Gide, and Perold. Especially because we also found out that there was a thing between Madame Gide and Perold. So, like... maybe I can be the one to bring everyone together again. With myself included. Let's do it. The fairies are like an abyss. You shouldn't stare into them too much. Not to mention trusting them. How could I spend the rest of my life waiting for the price tag to appear on my happiness? And I'd probably have to pay dearly. Once you leave your happiness to fate, you become a slave to it. It can easily turn at any moment. Gide's way may be morally gray and selfish, but at least she's straightforward about it. Life isn't always peachy. She knows what she wants and how to get it, which is more than I've done up till now. But let's not be too hasty. I just remembered what the captain said about the father's last will. Oh, should be about my father's last will. Maybe? Yeah. If it really exists and I could find it, then things could turn out quite interesting. And since Carmosa was so kind as to leave the house and her study unattended... do it or just... I don't really care about the last will. Because I don't think Carmosa is necessarily doing anything wrong with how she's managing shit. At least from what I've seen. And if I want to run away with Perold, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say just go. Yeah. Forget it. I'll have enough leverage soon. Plus, I have a fairly good idea about where should Carmosa stick her dirty little secrets. I should hurry then. I wouldn't want to keep Madame Gide waiting too long with her offer just hanging in the air. Let me take matters into my own hands. With the help of her able fingers. Oh, she got... You know what? It's too easy of a dirty joke to make. Let's move on. I wonder if Madame Gide is at her store. I hope she isn't in trouble with the townsfolk again. That brazen simpleton! It's Carmosa! I better hide. A craftsman, he calls himself? A man of trade? If it were up to me, he'd be out of business. Vulgar cretin. Need more time, my lady. It can't be done, my lady. Idiot. I need to find another tailor. A good one. How could he be so incompetent? He saw how important this is. He said he needed more time, but there's a whole night he could spend working on those corrections. People are so brazen these days. Or maybe they just have private lives with normal families. What was that? Oh, I was just cursing at the state of modern society and how merchants, craftsmen, and all sorts of other people are just not what they used to be in the past. When they were all extremely skillful, cheap, humble, polite, dedicated to their work, and always eager to help a lady in need. I really hope that wasn't irony, girl. You know how I don't. No, of course. Alright, it's clear. Looks like they weren't that lucky with their dresses in the end. Never mind that. I need to get to Geeds. Hello? Are you there, Geed? I need your help. I've made up my mind. I know what I must do. Hello, Cinders. Please, calm down. There's no need to hurry so much. I was expecting you anyways. So the good folk in the town are right. You are clairvoyant. Oh yes, my third eye pierces through the veils of secrets and lies with the arcane blade of logic. Well, at least the townsfolk find it to be the arcane. I know about the masquerade tomorrow, and I saw Carmosa scuttling through the town. So, what is exactly that you've made up your mind about, girl? So you know that Carmosa wants her daughters to attend the grand ball. She wants the event to raise the family status in the society. Yes, I've gathered as much. She also wants me to stay at home. She says we all have a part to play, and mine is to clean the house for the future distinguished guests. That is not surprising. She knows you'd upstage your sisters with little trouble. Maybe she does. It doesn't matter. I just need to go. I need to get to the palace. I'm sick and tired of having to give up my dreams all the time. I want freedom, and I want a bit of space for myself. I deserve it. I want Carmosa and her daughters to finally see me as an equal. Besides, I think it's going to be magical tomorrow, and I get to meet the prince. A little fairy tale of my own. Laugh at me all you will, but I really need that. I start to feel as if Carmosa robbed me of everything that's magical, beautiful, or fun about life, and then replaced it with constant worry and competition. I need to prove myself that those things can still happen, that I'm not as broken as her daughters. Besides, that's only the beginning. After the ball, my life is going to take a turn. Things will change. You sound very convinced. May I know how exactly you're going to make this change happen? Unlike all the other young girls unhappy with their lives. I sort of hope that you could help me with the details. But I basically have two routes of action that I could take. I could try to escape the town and start all over. Or I could try to take control of the house from Carmosa's hands. Indeed you could, but why limit yourself? Why not become the queen? Yeah, guess that's an option too. I mean, I don't really want the prince. And I don't really want to overthrow him. So, no, I don't want that as an option, but sure. Since I'm going to the ball, I might as well try to win the prince's hearts. But we don't want that. No, stop it. I can see you smirking. But I assure you that I'm serious about all of this. I'm not. We don't want the prince. Stop it. No. That you are. It's heartwarming to see you so confident about your plans, Cinders. There is much of your mother in you. There were times when she was very determined to act against all odds as well. Is that how you see my situation? Am I throwing myself against the high tide? How I see your situation matters little, both to you and your situation. Points of view are nothing more than what they are, points from which things are seen, never the things themselves. It's always easier to learn about a point of view rather than a thing. More often than not, things remain secret, they are uncertain. But one thing is certain, choice. What is your goal? I told you I want to finally break free and... Yes, and you suggested a few routes for that. But at this point, they aren't any better than the miller's daughter's dreams of becoming a circus acrobat. If you are serious about it, you need to decide what it is exactly that you want, and then maybe I can help you to form an actual plan. What I really want... Oh shit. Oh, so I could still go for the prince if I wanted. Oh no, we're escaping town. We are running away with Perald. Okay? Sorry. The truth is that not much good awaits me here. Retaking the residents from Carmosa peacefully just won't happen. And wooing the prince to become queen? Please, this is the real world we're talking about. No, my only chance for freedom is a fresh start. I have to escape this place, break free from the prison that is my current life. Highborn young girls running away from their life in big mansions is not exactly unheard of. Are you sure you're not just trying to get some attention? Oh yeah, because all I need is more attention from Carmosa and her daughters. This isn't helpful, and you know I'm serious. Besides, I know someone who tends to leave any town she's currently residing in as soon as people start doing pranks to her cat. I don't have a cat. I hate cats. Cats are trouble. Oh, Madam Gede, why do you hurt me so? No, you can't not like cats. We're meant to be together. You can't. No, damn it. No, it's ruining everything. Well, I can be trouble too. Are you going to help me or not? Alright, you've made your point. Yes, I will help you, but I need to know your exact plans. Traveling alone can be dangerous, you can believe me. Is there someone who would be willing to go with you? I talked with the Captain Perald quite a bit, and I think I could convince him to go with me. Yeah. You did what? Perald? Are we talking about the same good captain? Why is this funny? Well, you either are very persuasive, or my old friend changed his taste considerably and is now hunting for the younger meat. Girl. That's hilarious. Oh, sorry, yeah, I forgot you two used to be close. Wink wink, nudge nudge. From what I gathered, it wasn't anything serious. I apologize, I shouldn't... Don't apologize. You are completely right. It wasn't serious. It was... Ah, forget about it. I'm just surprised, that's all. And impressed. Tell me, do you think this is a good idea? You know him better than I. As far as escape plans go, this one is indeed very good. Perald is someone you can trust. If you really think you can convince him, just go and talk to him already. He should be en route, patrolling the town. Yeah, I'll do that. And thanks. It looks like we have a plan then. Which is much more than what you had when you came here. True that. I think I know where I stand now, for the first time in a long time. Still, I just have to go to the ball first. Why? Why do we have to go to the ball first? Why? What? No, look, Perald's on patrol. We go to him, tell him we are to whisk our ass away out of the town. Let's go. Why are we going to the ball? No. Cinders, no. What? Girl. Girl. So frustrating. But the way things are now, the ball is just a silly girl's dream. I don't even have a dress. God. I'm going to surprise you here. That is the least of your troubles right now. I'll get you a dress. One of my old ones, actually. I used to wear it when I was about your age, and believe me, I melted many hearts in it. I really don't know if... Oh, I'm sure you'll love it. I'll have it cleaned and ready for the ball. Just pay me a visit before you go to the palace, and I'll give it to you. I should also be able to find some way to allow you inside the palace, so don't worry about it. I just need to pull some strings. Eid, my love, I'm really grateful for your help. I don't know what I would do without you, which is why she should come with us when we run away with perils. Damn it. Don't mention it. I made a promise to your mother, remember? And a few words of advice. And an old wait. Oh yeah. And a few words of advice and an old dress don't cost me that much. You might even say I managed to pay my debt cheaply. Cheaply? Well, I'm about to leave this town and was afraid that you might come asking for something requiring an actual effort. Madam Gede, selfish as ever. Do I look like some magical helper from the enchanted realm to you? I'm no fairy godmother, Cinders. And you're very lucky I'm not one of the little folk. Now go, all is set. You know what to do. Peril, we gotta run away together. But apparently not before I go to the ball for some freaking reason. But I saw it with my very own eyes. And it was evil, I tell you. Evil! How can you not believe me? Oh, woe is me. What did you say, Captain? You need to speak up. No, I said, please continue and calm down. I am calm, but she gazed at me with her evil eye, and look, all I get is evil. Wart, what other proof would one need, eh? Excuse me, Captain, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I need to speak with you. That sounds important. You'll need to excuse me, madam. I have to take care of this urgent matter. I shall investigate your complaint and take the necessary steps. Oh, all right. Sure. As long as the one complaining is young and beautiful, it's always urgent. I'd have to die a violent death to be that urgent. How fair is that, eh? I swear, it's like my younger son says, screw the city guard. Damn, what a biatch, right? Anyways. Thank you. You saved me from ignorance and absurdity. How can I ever repay you? Oh, I have a couple of ideas. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. However, all I need right now is to speak to you, and I'm afraid that it isn't a simple matter either. I see. It's always a pleasure to speak to you regardless. I'm all ears. Remember our last talk? I've made up my mind. Let's do it. Just let me make sure we're talking about the same thing. Oh, you know what we're talking about. You mean... Let's run away together. Start a new life. Right now? Would that be too soon? But what I had in mind was escaping tomorrow late into the night when no one will notice. Oh, yes, tomorrow. That makes so much more sense. It's outright self-explanatory. I sense you're not properly overjoyed. I'm sorry, this is just so improbable. But please, tell me what you have in mind. I want to run away from here. With you. Just like we talked yesterday. We both know what is in store for us if we remain here. Your skills and values discarded by the prince, my existence being sneered at by those closest to me. But we can start over, and we can lead lives by ourselves. We can lead lives we ourselves choose. Jesus. And it's not a dream. It's a real chance. I know it sounds crazy, but why not choose this hopeful unknown over the certain misery here? Cinders, it doesn't just sound crazy. It is crazy. I like you, but I hardly even know you. I think I liked you more last night when you were much more open-minded. I have to admit, what we spoke about yesterday did sound enticing, and I'm still not sure what to do about the prince's offer. But there's a vast difference between allowing yourself some daydreaming and you stopping me in the middle of the street offering to start a new life with me. Oh, pardon me. I didn't realize you would rather get back to investigating that woman's crime report. Let me know when you're less busy. We can talk then. You are jesting again, but this is a serious thing you are asking for, and believe me, I'm actually considering it. Oh, I'm sorry. I know it's an unusual idea. I don't know how I would have reacted myself, even though I wanted to break free from here for years now. But think about it this way. What have we got to lose? What's really stopping you from just getting out of here? For starters, you and me. I don't even know where our relationship is. I've just met you. Besides, am I not too old for plotting escape with a fair young lady? I would say you're just about the right age. Wait, I would say that you're just about the right age. Okay, yeah, that is okay. Cinders, please. Fine. I know what you mean. I don't know what we are to each other either, and I can't make any promises. But I do know I like you, and that you are someone who's in a similar situation as me. I also know I can trust you, and those old-fashioned but charming ideals of yours. I have no idea how our life is going to look when we get out of here, but at least it shows some promise, unlike staying here. Cinders, but what if... No, please. More questions won't change anything. It's, as you said, we barely know each other and can't know the future. Yet here I am, standing before you, making a ridiculous offer. If you're going to reject it, I'll understand. All I can say is that I'm serious about it and would like to try it and see how it goes. So what say you? Fair enough. Let's make this happen. And I'm going to eat one of my belts if some bard doesn't make a song about it. Really? Yes. I have more than enough belts anyways. You kinky motherfucker. You know what I mean. Yes, I really do intend to escape with you and never look back. Like in the old knight romances. Ah. See, we were Peril. This was the right choice. However, I still want to perform this last duty to my prince and guard him at the ball. I'll inform him of my plans when it's over and come to your residence to pick you up. That works well with my plans. Give me the time to prove something to Lady Carmosa, her daughters, and myself. May I inquire what's that about? Oh, you'll know it when you see it. Don't worry, wink. But I'll be ready to escape with you before the festivities end. Just how are you going to pick me up when Carmosa's there? Maybe I should sneak out and meet you at the crossroads instead? Don't worry, I have a plan already. One that should prevent Carmosa from looking for you, long enough for us to get far away. I'll come for you not long after midnight. I promise. You'd better. Because after what I plan for tomorrow, there is no turning back to the old ways for me. Oh? You have this old knight's word on that, Cinders. Ah. We're gonna run away together, we're gonna run away together. Looks like Carmosa's still out. Good. I was honestly afraid I wouldn't be able to get back on time, or worse, stumble upon them on the way home. Nobody should have to come home hoping to find all the people gone, praying to be left alone. Fortunately, with some luck, it's the last time I feel like this. Tomorrow, everything's going to change, one way or the other. I'm going to miss this house. Its walls hold many memories very dear to me. Mother's smile, father's stories. It's funny, I hate Hermosa, but deep inside, I hope she's going to be successful with her plans. I want to believe this place won't fall apart after I'm gone. I wonder what I'm replacing this life with. It might be a dream come true, might also be a nightmare, but all I've got to lose are memories. You won't lose the memories unless you, like, have Alzheimer's or something like that. I mean, you'll always remember. You don't need to be in this house to remember that stuff about, like, your mom and your dad, girl. Come on. Although, I think I'm going to miss my sisters. Who would have thought? After all, we are all creatures of habit. It's like throwing away shoes that chafed. But we're very familiar. One would hesitate, right? It wasn't always easy, but I've grown attached to them somehow. I do hope they'll be fine. Alright, enough of this. I need to go into my room and stay there as usual. When Hermosa comes back, I need to look like nothing is going on. Ooh, the prince. The garden looks odd in this pale moonlight. Everything is set for the ball, but there's no living soul here except me. It seems so unreal. Just a few hours ago, it was full of servants, carefully setting every little piece of decoration. Now it's deserted as the preparations come to an end. Only the wind does not hesitate to run freely and ruffle everything. I have to say it feels unusual tonight, like a charge about to go off during the storm. This tension in the air almost feels tangible. Our court jester used to greet people. May you live in boring times. This feels like the grim opposite. Almost like an omen of things to come, a sign of a storm closing in. Interesting times. I wonder whether this has any chance of success. Can I commit to change and make it happen? Is this even possible? I've read the philosophers, but never seen it come. Whatever. Books and idealistic theories are one thing, but people tend to resist change. Even change for the better. Father didn't make it any easier for me either. He was a good ruler, and he's remembered very fondly. Anything I'll do will be seen as betraying his legacy. It would all be easier if he had been a bloodthirsty tyrant. It feels like a storm is coming indeed. Even if I succeed, history may remember me as a renegade. And will any woman stand by me through this? Is this ball the best way to look for such a person? In the absence of better ideas or better judgment, I have made my decision. The best I could. Now all there is to do is to see things through. And hope. The weather tonight really doesn't feel right. All the dogs in the kennels act as if possessed. I should get back to the palace. Let's hope for an interesting ball night and boring times. If he suddenly got assassinated, that would have been amazing. I'm just saying. I'm glad I could finally take off that damn dress. It's badly done, badly cut, tight as hell, and looks ridiculous. No corrections are going to change it. That little old man called himself a tailor. What a joke! I bet I could do a better job sewing a suit for him. Oh, I'd trim his waist good, cut his trousers tight in all the right places. The little fellow would even be smaller by the time I was done. This whole situation is stupid. No matter how tight and tasteless our dresses are, they won't make any of us a princess. Gloria. Weren't you supposed to be in the garden? Oh wait, that was the wrong one. Oops. We good. I was, but the weather turned bad so suddenly. I've never seen the weather change so quickly. Oh, my big mature sister got all spooked by a big bad cloud. Don't be ridiculous, Sophia. I'm not in the mood for this. God. Maybe you would like to get all soaked in the rain and look miserable, but I surely don't. Well, I don't see a single drop of rain outside, bitch. Neither can I. Strange, I swore I could see flashes between the clouds. Are you practicing talking about the weather before the ball? Because it's not working. You're still boring. No, but I can see you are already sharpening your tongue. The prince will surely appreciate your wits. And how was your dress, Sophia? By all things held dear and holy, by all the naive people in this world, I swear, if you ask me this question one more time, you'll feel my pain. The reason I repeated the question so many times a day was in the hope that it would stretch a little over time. Oh, well, didn't stretch an inch. Taylor did a good job there. When I wear it, I feel like a properly packaged piece of pork. Why didn't you tell Mother then? When we were at the tailor's, he could have applied further corrections. Because her loving motherly eyes told me, one more complaint and you're dead, girl. Your choice of words is poor as usual, but I agree with your sentiment. Mine is though much too tight as well. I always found it astonishing how my pain tends to trigger such immediate joy in your little black heart. No, it's not like that. I mean, you're right about the joy part, but something else made me laugh. Do tell me. I'm sure it's going to be utterly enlightening. Well, tell me, aren't these dresses a wonderful metaphor for our lives? I fail to see it, I'm afraid. We're trying to fit into clothes which someone made for us this whole time, or rather, for the image of us in that someone's head. I bet they're a perfect fit for those phantasms inside Mother's mind, disciplined and pretty as dolls. Stop it! Your bitterness is getting tiring. And stop being so childish. It's only a dress. A lady must learn how to walk, talk, and smile, even if the corset is a bit tight. You know that Mother is only trying to teach us how to behave properly in society. She had to endure far more than a tight dress to get us where we are now. Oh, yes, the sacrifices she makes to make us shine during the grand ball. Your cynicism gives you little credit. You know very well this is important to her. Perhaps it is. But tell me this, sister. Is it important for us? Snap. Look, I'm just gonna say it. I kind of want Sophia to get with the prince. I think she'd make a good princess or queen to him. Because he wants someone who's not dull-witted, you know what I mean? And she has a sharp enough tongue that I think she, she has a good backbone on her, you know what I mean? I think she could do well. Finally, the day's over. Both dresses fit, everything's in place, even that incompetent tailor agreed to lower the price. All things considered, it all went better than expected. It's a shame the girls don't seem to realize how important this is for them. Nor do they appreciate how much effort it takes to prepare two young ladies to make their debut in court. Especially if nobody cared to invite them. They're not even aware of what that means for women their age. By noble standards, they're getting old and must be introduced soon, if they are ever to find a husband. And without a husband, they may as well lock themselves up in this house and wait for old age to come and relieve them of their miserable lives. I hope they'll grow up soon and open those naive eyes to the way the world works around them. It's either that or they will end up alone in some dark and empty room, forgotten and hated by everyone. Thank heavens for the night. If nothing else, it's easier to hide oneself in the dark from the gaze of others. If no one wants to see it, it isn't happening. That's the way people work. And I learned that lesson the hard way. Is that a storm coming over the horizon? It's one of those strange, cold ones. Without rain. Without me? Oh no. What are we ever gonna do? If I'm not here, then who's gonna play the game? There is rain. She's lying. Okay, that was dumb. I think I remember a storm like this many years ago. That night when she died. ... It's no good to think about things like that before I go to sleep. It's late, and the weather's turning bad. I better close the window before the storm comes. Oh, morning. Thank goodness it's dawn already. I haven't slept for the entirety of the night. How could I? I feel like there's a dozen especially vicious poisonous butterflies having a grand ball of their own in my stomach. Poisonous butterflies, that's a good one, Cinders. Lack of sleep will sure make you very eloquent this evening. Still, if things go according to plan, this has just been my last night spent as a slave in my own house. I can hear Carmosa's voice. Is she mustering the girls again? Her private little army of 2? Well, whatever training she gives them, nothing will prepare them for this evening. Oh my, won't they be surprised? As well as Carmosa, the all-powerful, all-knowing lady will be caught at a loss tonight. I think I should sneak out right after they leave the house if I'm to get the dress before it all starts. So hurry up, girls. Drink break. Okay. 6 additional guards in the main hall. That makes 65. Oh, you're so close to the magic number, dude. And 2 dressed up as a guest, following the prince discreetly. I mean, it's still not quite the number, but it's fine. At least that much good has come from the masks everyone will be wearing. Guards can be disguised and mixed in the crowd. Of course, every assassin, vagabond, or other villain opposing the rule of the prince will be dressed as guests as well. This is going to be a long night. The security is quite tight, but during a masked ball, the chance of an unwanted person squeezing in is far too high for my liking. I guess I'll just have to follow the prince closely. Contrary to what His Highness believes, I think a proper guard presence is needed at this event. On the other hand, I am being let go, so why do I care? The prince has determined that this is the age of politics and plots, not war. Information instead of steel. I wonder how well that will work. Somehow, I don't think people change that quickly or willingly. Someone assaults the future king with a hidden blade, but then suddenly the ruler yells, "What's the capital of the lands of the mist?" Well, and the attacker folds. But fair enough, I have decided not to adapt, so I'm staying behind. And with my inadequate methods, I shall protect the prince one last time. Then come what may. My attachment to the code, to honor, and to the crown is also a thing of the past. Inadequate. Then again, if I'm to leave a lifelong goal, to travel with a girl I have just met, the world truly is changing beyond my recognition. But in order to be able to leave, I need to do this last thing right. Protect the prince and uphold the peace for myself. It may be guilt that compels me to do it, or old habits, mixed with some melancholy, perhaps. But this ball will be my farewell to duty and the crown. So I'm going to do my best. I think the stairs need to be double-checked. Oh, he's gonna leave with us. Well, well, look who finally got out of Kermos's reach and managed to come. I'm so sorry. The sisters kept calling me and wrinkle their noses and demanding adjustments to everything. Their hairdos, the way their shawls are draped, and dresses pressed. And now it's so late. I won't make it in time. How could I have missed my chance? They didn't even notice, but they ruined... Calm down, girl. You'll be fine. But it's so late, and the ball has almost started already, and... You're just nervous, and that is fine. There's a big night ahead of you, but trust me, you will get your chance to dazzle everyone. You're right. Maybe I'm panicking a bit. Good thing you didn't see me when I was running over here like crazy. Actually, if you want to make an entrance, cause a stir and get envious looks, you ought to come fashionably late. This way, you'll be noticed from the start. Good point. But I guess it's understandable I'm nervous like that. I think every girl your age has the right to flaunt her emotions to the world every once in a while. But thank the spirits it hasn't come to that. Yeah, thanks. So, what do I do? Let's start with the dress. You can't go to the ball without one. I'm glad we agree. I mean, technically you could go without one. You definitely get everyone's attention then, but somehow I think that's not what you had in mind. Oof. A little bit of extra business going on? Damn. You're just as kinky as Harold. Why can't we all just get together? I'd prefer not to if you don't mind. May I see it? The dress is prepared for you along with everything else in the wardrobe. That's the room on the left there. I'll wait here. Let me just get the lights. Oh my, this is raunchy. Almost explicit, I would say. Damn. What is this dress gonna look like? Didn't you want to be noticed? This dress should help a lot. Try it on. It's amazing. And it fits like a glove. Thanks. Damn. Told you, and you're welcome. The shoes are a bit too small though, and they have a stiff high heel. Dancing in these will be a challenge. You'll manage. This kind of beauty is not achieved through comfort. It is usually bought with a little bit of pain. In any case, this is just for one night, so simply grin and bear it. You should hurry now. I didn't mean to be ungrateful. The whole outfit looks wonderful, but how will I get inside? One of the cooks agreed to let you in. I cured his wife last winter, so he has a debt to pay. He'll sneak you in safely. Great, thanks. Is there anything else I should know before I go? Just enjoy this. Relish the moment. I believe we make our own fate. So good luck. Make the best of it. Thanks. You have done something truly amazing for me. I won't forget it. Let's go to the ball, bitches. Ooh, I like how they have like just people in the background, kind of. That's neat. How did I not see this before? They're so used to wearing masks all the time. Today's dress code changes nothing. All it did is bring out the mastery in masquerading. Isn't this what you have chosen to support, sire? The monarch is the one to set the tone for this country. Didn't you want the land to become a political arena? Politics instead of war, yes, but this game of appearances disgusts me as much as it disgusts you. Politics for the sake of progress and people, that is what I think is best for this country, not this. But I know that you don't condone this, do you? When the ways of our forefathers are changed, honor disregarded, and rules made gray and flexible, this is what happens. A world where the two-faced win. That is not entirely true. What would happen if the people what will be happen is that what should happen is that the people will be given voice and empowered. It may have some disadvantages, but it's still the future. Maybe it is, but I don't trust people that much. If you want honesty and righteousness, you need black and white rules and a stable set of values behind them. Yes, but we need a land of prosperity too, and I don't mean material prosperity alone. I want a land of as much joy as is reasonably possible in my realm. It's a worthy goal, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make it happen. I do understand your reluctance to practice politics, however, and I appreciate your honesty. Give me a second. Let me take a drink. Okay. A memento. Oh, sorry. I was just checking something. Something looked weird to me on my computer. Sorry. sorry. Let's continue. You know, everything's good. Weird. Anywho. I do understand your reluctance to practice politics, however, I appreciate your honesty. You have the right to be doubtful. Curiously enough, to set people free, you need some level of deceit, hypocrisy, and gossip. If you say so, sire. See, it even rubbed off on you a little, my friend. But right now, I have to play along, deal with this lot, and choose a wife from among them. Frankly, I don't see any good candidates on the horizon. What do you think I should do? I could use your advice on how to proceed. I wouldn't even begin to imagine how one might approach this situation. Please, just tell me what you think. I think that you're overthinking it, my lord. Maybe just try to blend in and go with the flow of things. I mean, Prince, look. Just talk to the women, alright? Get to know them, see what they're like, and then go from there. I mean, if you haven't talked to everyone yet, then you're just basing it off of looks as well, but everyone has a mask on, so like, mingle, come on. Jesus, you want to rule the kingdom? So you're saying I should stop staying outside, observing and judging the women who come here? Yeah, go freaking talk to them! Well, that is not exactly what I said. But you are right. If I am to learn the true natures of the ladies that are here, I need to give them a chance. So for now, I'm going to stop judging and reach out. Thank you, friend. Ooh. Oh, shit. Look at Sophia. Damn. She let her hair down and everything. Yo, girl. Damn. Plus it's blue, and blue's my favorite color, so hell yeah, Sophia's the best. This is a chance to rise up in the world. Each of you can become so much more than impoverished nobility. You be royalty. You do want that, don't you? I really am not so certain. Of course we do. This isn't the attitude that will win you a better life. If you don't commit to it and ignore the rest, you'll lose. We are committed. We really are. It's just not easy, Mother, but we'll try. My dear Gloria, nothing in this world that is worth striving for is easy. You need to fight for a better life, endure hardships, discomfort, and sacrifices. This is your chance. If you play it right, you won't have to worry about any of those ever again. Do you understand what it means? Now, smarten yourself up, girls. Do something about that cringe, Sophia. And you, Gloria. Adjust that coiffure. Good. What for? Not that I can't endure pain and hardships, Mother. You've made sure we both can. But what's the purpose? You won't choose us anyhow. Now. You have to do this. If you want to survive and go up. If you commit and do your best, you do have a chance. What did you think? That ending up with some smaller nobility or soldier is an option for my daughters? Only idiots aim low. So we will do everything we've talked about yesterday, and we will try to charm the prince. I'm not sure that I can do that, but I'll try. I didn't raise you two to be unable to gain influence over a single man. You are young, pretty. You are women. Use your wits and instincts. And if that fails you, Gloria, as we all know it will, you can always flaunt your cleavage. I mean, this dress really pronounced them. And then she's got that, like, choker on that, like, draws your eye to it. Yeah, no. That was on purpose. Actually, it's this exact same one as her mother. That's why she's wearing it. Because she copies her mother. But yeah, that's what that's designed to do. So. But wouldn't that come across as very unladylike? What would people think? There are many ways to entice a man. Your beauty will help you in that. So do not be ashamed of it. Use it if necessary. These dresses cost me a fortune and more than a single white hair, but they should draw some stares. Now let's make sure you get the chance to use your feminine wiles. Each of you will go get the prince's attention, introduce yourself, and get invited to a dance. How do we get invited? Are we to invite the prince ourselves? Just hint at it subtly. Or heavily. But then remember about the cleavage. Shut up, Sophia. I'm trying to understand what to do as best as I can. You never understood the idea, did you, sister? Wyatt! There are more important things than bickering right now. Focus, you two. Focus. You both look astounding, and I'm sure you'll do fine. You are my daughters, after all. ... Gloria, you go first. Then Sophia. Remember, stand up straight, smile at all times, and when you dance, every other pirouette brush against him accidentally. Good luck, sister. You're gonna need it, you know. Don't listen to her. Just go. Very well, so I'm keeping an open mind. Do you have any other advice? No, however, there is a very pretty young lady standing over there gazing your way, my prince. Most of them are, as if this was some sort of contest with the kingdom and palace as the main prize. Well, there are many candidates gathered together for one event, and one of them will be chosen to become rich and influential. If not a contest with the kingdom as a prize, how would you describe it, my prince? Ha, good point, my friend. All right, let's select a wise queen and a good companion for the years to come. That young lady really looks absolutely astounding, and she has this dignified air about her. Please excuse me, friend. Good luck, my lord. Good evening, mysterious beauty. How are you enjoying yourself? Thank you, Your Highness. This ball is amazing. Everyone's excited to be here, as am I. Please stand up. Oh, I'm sure they are. Half of them because they're rooting for their hidden agenda to take effect tonight, but how can I blame them? But I'm certain every court member wishes both you and the land the best. Oh, please, excuse my bluntness. But do you generally think this to be true? What was your impression when you talked to them? I haven't talked to many of the guests, Prince, but I honestly believe they have the kingdom's interest at heart, even if it doesn't show. Fine. Have you tasted the food? We have bought spices from the eastern lands, especially for this occasion. I'm sure it's excellent, my lord. It looks like pieces of art, and the smell is delicious. Are you sure? These small sweet rolls are a particular pride of our cooks. They're called stoffen? Sure. And baking them involves the help of an alchemist. That sounds fascinating, Your Highness. It is. That is why the taste is indescribable. Undescribable? What? Damn it. Words. Words! I should know words. I'm a writer. Indescribable. Neither sweet nor sour, salty or bitter, and unlike anything known to nature, alchemically magical. Have some. Thank you, Your Grace, but a lady should watch her figure. Surely a woman of your beauty doesn't need to worry about such things. You look as delicate as the morning breeze. You are too kind, Your Highness. Are you sure? Thank you, Your Highness. Maybe just a little bite. Oh, you don't need to call me Your Highness. I don't attach that much value to formalities. And after all, I'm not your king yet. Oh, I'm so sorry for the mistake, Your Highness. I didn't mean to imply. I'm truly sorry. That's nothing. Don't mention it. Oh, I won't mention it again if that's what you mean. I'm sorry. It's fine. Just please, relax. I get the feeling you are very tense. Can we just chat casually? Of course, my prince. What would you like to chat about? How do you like the music? The music is heavenly, my prince. You really think so? Why? I don't know much about music, but this seems like an excellent choice, my prince. No, well, then maybe let's talk about things that interest you. Why don't you choose the topic? I do not know what you like. Wait, I do not know what you like and what interests you, Your Grace. Oh, I did it again. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. It'll not happen again. Oh, don't bother. I mean, worry. Don't worry. I'm sorry, Your Highness. I'm sorry Your Highness isn't pleased. I didn't mean to upset you, my prince. I truly didn't. Somehow I wish you did. Will you please excuse me, my lady? Of course, my prince. I hope you enjoy your evening. Oof. Oof, that was hard to read and watch. Oof. Yeah, it's gonna be a long night, dude. I freaking agree, man. Oof. Damn, Gloria. Gloria, you're back. So soon. Did the prince fail to meet your standards and you had to fend off all his attention and admiration? Yeah, admiration. I don't know why I pronounce it that way. Did you dismiss him and take your leave? No. You're awfully quiet. What happened then? I know. You used up all your eloquence on the prince. I'm sure he was really impressed. That's probably why he ran off so fast. He was too intimidated to stay in presence of such perfection. And I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to point out again how great an example you are for me. Please enlighten me as to what the key pillars to your... Will you shut up already? Enough! If there ever was a time when I expected you two to focus, this is it. Sophia, stop with these pointless remarks. Want to show your sister? Then go and prove you can do what she failed at. I never said I could, and I'm not sure whether... Oh, really? Not so sure of yourself suddenly? Stop whining. Stand up straight, keep your chest forward. Maybe for once your silly books will have their use. I heard the prince reads a lot. He does? What does he read? I don't know, and I don't care. Just try and use it to your advantage. If this doesn't work, you're not as pretty as your sister, so just flatter him a lot. You can do it. Oh, that's so mean. Aw. Right, I'm sure he's not used to that. Is there anything else you would like to add to this conversation, Sophia? If not, then I suggest you go and charm the prince. What about Gloria? Your sister and I are going to have a little chat while you're gone. You concentrate on the prince. Be seductive. Go. Oh, I'll miss your pleasant chat with Mother, Gloria, and I was so happy for a good show. Just go. Alright, Sophia, you fucking got this, girl. You have a brain in your head. Let's do this. Good evening, Your Grace. Oh, I do hope I used the right style. Good evening, my lady. It is one of the conversational titles used when addressing kings, so no, not really. At least not yet. Oops. Looks like I blew it already. I wouldn't worry about that. I never understood all those subtleties myself, nor cared for them for that matter. I must be really lucky then, since I don't care much for titles myself. Never seen the purpose. You do not? Quite a rare trait for a daughter of a noble house. And more importantly, daughter of a powerful and ambitious lady. Don't forget about women with agendas, Your Highness. They tend to be pretty hard to overlook anyway. Oh, is that so? Oh yes, quite an overbearing character, that mother of ours. She even made us wear these dresses, you see. Have you ever worn a corset this tight, my prince? ... No, I never had the opportunity. Oh, neither had I until today, but it doesn't really matter because we all have our roles to play and tasks to fulfill. After all, a single night can change the fate of many, whole families, great houses, dynasties, etc. I can see you're quite upset, my lady. I'm only the younger daughter, and my mother wasn't born into a ladyship, so it's second-hand nobility you're speaking to. You don't have to lady me, my prince. Alright, if you say so. So are you here because your mother asked you to come against your will? Yep, that's exactly why I'm here. Because I'm a good girl who's willing to play her part. In that case, would you believe it if I said the reason why I'm here is not that different from yours? I guess you could call it a family obligation. Yes, although my oppressive parent is here in spirit alone, his legacy is omnipresent, his influence palpable. I thought the wine tasted funny. ... Oh, no need to play that shocked look on me. If you're anything like me and your father was even slightly similar to my mother, a joke like that won't make you blink. You're right. Having spent all my life among people trained to keep up appearances, I picked up all the conversational reflexes. Like acting shocked when someone is making a joke about your dead parent, even though everyone knows he wasn't as good a father as he was a king. I feel lucky already. At least nobody ever forced me into a mold of politeness. I shudder at the thought of someone trying. Such a silly concept, this politeness. Lying to each other in the name of good manners, as if honesty was a vice. You're a very original young woman, you know that? Isn't original one of the categories physicians use when they lock you up in an asylum? Technically, I think it's innovative. And I'm serious. I'm glad you're here. I'd love to get to know you better. The correct responses here would be to say, "Thank you, Your Highness," and maybe blush a little bit. Yes? Well, I'm not so good at blushing on demand. Don't get me wrong, my prince. You seem much nicer than I expected. But I didn't come here because I wanted to have a chat with you. I'm here because my mother has serious control issues and wants me to play the role she scripted for me, probably before I was even born. Not a very entertaining role, mind you. And as for my sister, well, alright, that actually is the pleasant part. I just wanted to show her that I can do it better without even trying. ... And I couldn't care less about ruling. Grown-ups sitting in ridiculous chairs, wearing funny hats made of metal. Frankly, it all seems very silly to me. Well, you've made your point quite clear, so what now? Now, if you were a normal man, I would gladly invite you to our residence, show you how our lovely family operates, get to know you better, but alas, you're not. Therefore, it's the perfect time to go back home and get this cursed thing off my waist. Whoever invented these must have been really innovative. Good night. Have a nice ball and everything. Peace. What the? Heavens, this ball is turning into a madhouse rather rapidly. Too bad, though. This one I started to like. Fuck yeah, Sophia. Hell yeah. You go, girl. Alright, I'm almost there and all ready. Time to make my grand entrance. Okay, let's go. Let's see how much of a baller Cinder looks. A complete and utter disaster. You have no idea how much this will cost your family. You had a chance to secure the future for yourselves. And for your children and their children. You'll be very lucky to find a single man in the kingdom willing to court you after this display you gave tonight. And good riddance. What did you say? Mother, look, there's some commotion in the ballroom. I think someone important has arrived. Indeed. Whoever that is, they can afford to be late, so I'm guessing it really has to be someone important. Everyone has gone silent. What is going on? Oh, that's so pretty. And it's purple. I'm wearing purple. Sophia's wearing blue. It's two of my favorite colors. Knew we liked Sophia. Oh, that's a nice dress. That's very pretty. Okay. Looks like we have a latecomer, and an interesting one at that. Ooh, I got a trophy. Oh, okay. Guess we can look at that after. That is a mighty fine dress. Wait, is that? I think I know her. I don't applaud her lack of punctuality, but she certainly knows how to make an entrance. I wonder who she might be. I don't think punctuality is among the top qualities expected from a future queen. What about stunning looks? Not a prerequisite, but then again, neither is courage, and this one clearly has plenty of both. Watch out, my prince. She is coming. Good evening, your highness. And you too, Captain. Wink. Good evening, my lady. Now, if you please excuse me, my prince. No, Perrault. Aw. Good evening, my lady. I've noticed you've only just arrived. Even those who care little for appearances must accept the fact that people still judge others by their looks. That's why proper preparations have to take time. And if I may judge, the outcome is positively stunning. Flattery is a very important way of showing others we want something from them. So, what is it that you want in this situation, my prince? Is it an obedient wife, a wise consort, or just someone to keep you warm at night? Don't get me wrong, your highness. I do empathize with your complicated situation and understand you must have a wife to be crowned. I can see you don't hold social conventions in high regard. That is quite an accurate description of my predicament, though. And yet, understanding this, you are here. Don't tell me it's to taste wine from the royal cellars. Frankly, there's more than one reason. The wine, the food, not to mention company. I won't deny I find power interesting, especially after hearing all the rumors. Oh, so there is a spark of curiosity behind that cold, inquisitive look. There is nothing more natural than being attracted to power, my lady. I didn't say I was attracted to it, I merely stated that I find it, and those who wield it, intriguing. For example, what kind of person does one have to be a good ruler? A sound philosophical question, worthy of the author of The Duke. And what are your views on the matter? Although her approach may at times be cynical or overly instrumental, I believe that Levia Malik managed to describe power in its actual rather than ideal form. An independent judgment from a well-read lady. How very refreshing! I always regretted the fact that such a fine scholar as Lady Malik does not hail from our kingdom. Perhaps I was simply blind to the treasures of our realm, the fact that some women do in fact receive education even in this backwater land. You speak harshly about your own kingdom, my prince. Criticism may be the only weapon of the powerless, but you are hardly without power, are you not? To be honest, I am pretty powerless. Being a prince mostly entitles me to living in more comfortable quarters than, say, the town's innkeeper, but I don't get a fraction of his power. But assuming I were a king already, what would you have me do, my lady? What changes would satisfy subtle tastes of a learned modern woman such as yourself? I might have read a few books, but I'm not a politician. I can speak generally of injustices that require mending or errors which need to be corrected. I believe the kingdom would benefit from the reforms and a more modern style of government. Isn't that a polite way of saying that monarchy is obsolete? Not necessarily. An enlightened ruler may balance novelty and freedom with stability and tradition, as long as he keeps those who could threaten him either too satisfied or too afraid to rise up against him. Against him or her, I would add. Yeah, gender plays no role in such matters. At least here we have some equity. I must admit, you are an intriguing woman, my lady. Very different from the rest of the people who came here today. They don't seem to be even slightly bothered by the masks they have to wear. I wonder if it's so because they wear them every single day as well. But you are different. You may be wearing a mask, but you speak to me plainly and honestly, risking being misunderstood or simply rejected. I can appreciate that, even if you did leave me a bit flabbergasted. You judge me very quickly, Prince. I could be many things, none of which I appear at this moment. During the last few days, I've learned that people are as complex as their motivations and agendas. And more importantly, we are all products of circumstances and surroundings. It would be easier to simply summarize others at first glance, have their actions justified with a simple because. But it would be false as we can never really grasp what is inside them. I must admit, I find the dictum terrifying. That all of us are merely actors on some stage set out for us. Be it others or fate, being determined by things we can't control is frightening. I know it all too well. You speak of your family? I am. It isn't a light story, Your Highness. Definitely not a topic for a polite and charming conversation to make the time pass more pleasantly. I would like to hear about it, nevertheless. If I am not asking for too much, please tell me about your family, my lady. How could I refuse you, my prince? Well, my mother died bringing me into this world. My father eventually remarried a woman who already had 2 daughters. He died soon after that, so now I live with a stepmother and her 2 daughters. That is very strange. I've never heard of a noble house with 3 daughters and no father. I recall one family of a widow with 2 daughters, though. Stepmother doesn't see me as one of her daughters. She allows me to stay in her house under one condition. I work as a servant for bed and board. Those who are familiar with the family know my existence. As for others, I wouldn't be surprised if she told everyone she has 2 daughters and that is that. That's unbelievable! I did warn you about this topic. It isn't very entertaining. No, I'm glad you've told me about it. It showed me how ignorant I still am and how little I know about my own realm. Well, in that case, I'm glad you asked me about my life. Look at me babbling like a lunatic. You must be wondering whatever happened to royal manners. I've forced you to speak about things which you must find painful during a ball. When we're supposed to be taking our minds off unpleasant things, please allow me to make amends. Would you do me the honor? Oh, I'm not really a dancer. Don't worry, my lady. I will show you. Oh. I mean, at least we got a nice scene of them like kind of together, kind of dancing. But like, we don't care for the prince. So like, this is not... I hope we have a scene like this with like me and Perald. Like, cause that's who we want, you know what I'm saying? There better be a nice like picture, image of us together. But anywho. Maybe I can learn something from you as well, my prince. Is this alright? You're doing fine, my lady. Aw, they're moving. That's cute. This isn't as difficult as I expected. Not that I had expected to be dancing with you, my prince. And yet, here we are. It feels very natural, too. Who knows? Maybe it was fate that brought the two of us together. Fate? What is it that really brought me here tonight? Do you truly believe it was some mystical force? I can imagine getting here must have been difficult for you, considering your situation. To put it mildly, yeah, but I wouldn't call it fate, my prince. To the contrary, if it was up to fate, I'd be cleaning the dishes this very moment. No, your highness. The only reason I'm here is because I do not believe in any force other than my own ability to influence the world around me. I choose to shape my life in any way that I can and take responsibility for the consequences of my actions. Having it any other way is cowardice. A commendable attitude, my lady. This may be the wisest thing to say at the moment. Oh, this may not be the wisest thing to say at the moment, but I'll say it anyway. I consider myself lucky to have met you tonight, my lady. Luck or not, I'm glad as well. Very glad to be here with you, Prince. I mean, not really. Like, we do not want the prince. We don't give a shit. Like, why are we even at this ball? I mean, we look nice. I really like the dress. And at least we can prove to Hermosa that, like, bitch, we can get the prince if we wanted the prince. But this whole scene of the ball is kind of, like, very dull to me. Because, like, I don't care. Like, it was cool with the whole thing with Gloria and Sophia being like, the prince is interested in me and not you. But, like, this whole thing, like, I don't care about the prince. So this whole scene with Cinders is like, I just want to get past it. Yeah. Have I complimented your eyes already? Strange, I can't seem to remember. Neither can I. Let's assume you haven't. I can't get enough of looking into them. They have these amazing dancing sparks inside them. They suit you more than well. They speak of wit and intelligence. Now, I'm sure you haven't complimented my eyes. Please do continue. What else do you find attractive? I will then. I adore watching your lips as well. They move so gracefully when you speak, as if conveying a promise. And what promise have you read from them? I dare not say. Let's move on. Your neck. Skip the neck, Prince. What about my chest? What is this? We're not going down the prince route. Like, we clearly don't, like, why is the game written like this? If our goal was to not leave town and to, like, stay and we wanted the prince or whatever, then fine, okay. But we're clearly intending to leave. We hit all the, like, dialogue options that we are leaving with Perald. So why is this game doing all this with the prince right now? Like, why are we, like, seducing him like this? It doesn't make any sense. Just is not the word I'd use. And what word would you prefer? I think we should get to know each other better before we switch to a more colloquial vernacular. I'd love to get to know you better, my lady. You'll have your chance, my prince, if you're persistent enough and constant in your ambition. I'm so over this part. I'm like so over it. But we tend to undervalue things we achieved effortlessly. Let me give you an obstacle, my prince. You may thank me later. You are incredible, my lady. And you wouldn't have it any other way, my lord. Good night, and thank you for this unforgettable evening. Oh my god. That's right, confront them. I don't like the poofiness of her sleeve. If her sleeves are more like Gloria's, I'd like it a bit better. But I love that she like changed her hair and everything. You're awesome, Sophia. What is that? Well, I'll be. Cinders? Carmosa, girls, are you enjoying the ball? I certainly am. Brazen little brat! How dare you come here and show off in front of the prince like some harlot and steal his attention away from my daughters? Oh, really? Because the girls were doing so well on their own. You know, I think it's always easier to be charming and make a good impression on people when you're relaxed and confident about what you're doing. I came here of my own will, Carmosa, while your poor daughters only came because they either fear or don't want to disappoint you. You little! They came because they knew it's important! They came because you put the weight of your sick ambition on their shoulders and whipped them to make them go faster. The fact that you can't see your mistake makes your failure all the more tragic. Perhaps I was mistaken. Cinders, you were really amazing. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Thanks. So, what are you going to do now? Got any more surprises for the evening? If you do, then please warn us in advance, or someone may have a heart attack. Surprises? What do you expect me to do? I'll just head back home. I got what I wanted, right? Besides, these shoes are killing me. What are they made of, blasted things? It's the left one that almost cut my skin. Let's see if I can send you flying over the wall, shall we? There, and stay there. I'll be going now. Peace, ladies. And there she went. Well, I'd say this has been an entertaining and a very educational experience. What do you think, Gloria? Yes, I think I did learn something about myself. All of us, actually. Would you agree, Mother? A mistake. Looks like someone has just been hit with a revelation. Too bad it wasn't sooner. Good evening, Lady Carmosa. Ladies, I'm looking for Cinders. Do you know where I could find her? ... My lady? Cinders is not here, Captain. Could you tell us why you were looking for her? Royal orders. The prince would like to have a word with her. Cinders just left, Captain. She seemed to be in a hurry, too, as if trying to get back home before midnight. Funny, since Mother's here and she wasn't supposed to be here at all, it isn't like she needs to make it before curfew or anything. If that lovely dress was as terrible as her shoes, maybe she just wanted to get back home and take it off as soon as possible. Her shoes? Yes, slippers. Very original design, too. She said they were awfully uncomfortable, and then threw one of them over the wall. The other one is still here on the ground. Flippers. Oh, we back. Later that night. I still can't believe she did it. I would never suspect. Of course, but everyone's as dim-witted as you are and never does anything out of the ordinary or unexpected. Oh, yes, I'm sure you were able to foresee this precisely as it happened. Did you see it in the tea leaves or read it in a children's book one afternoon while avoiding work and being useless as usual? I did entertain the thought she might try to pull something off, if you must know, but believe what you want. I don't care. I too suspected she might try to do something unthinkable. She was so secretive and compliant at times. I suppose I could point to an inevitable explosion. I just didn't expect she had it in her. Gloria, please. Sometimes you sound like a cliché villain from a bad romance novel. Of course, if something's not twisted, weird, or shocking, you won't consider it honest. Not everyone is like you, Sophia. Fortunately so, just like not everyone tries to be a mirror image of their mother, down to mimicking her manner of speech. But you are not Carmosa, remember? You do not lead, you follow, mindlessly. Shut up, you! Ooh. Open up! Open up in the name of the prince! This is how the game started. If I'm not mistaken. It's him! Why did he have to come? And in the middle of the night? Will the wonders never cease? Just like your ridiculous cliché impersonations. There's no time for this now, though I'm sure Mother will deal with you later. I'll go summon her. You do that. Open up, I won't repeat myself. Mother. Sophia, don't stand like that. Open the door. Let this noisy man in. Yes, Mother. Ah, Captain, what brings you here at this time of night? Spare me the false pleasantries. You know why I'm here. Where is she? Very well. Sophia, get Cinders here right away. Yes, Mother. Be quick about it, child. Captain, would you fancy some wine while we wait for my lazy stepdaughter? Don't push it. You know this is not a courtesy visit. I'm afraid a lot is going to change here tonight. I brought Cinders. Hey, Captain. Haha. What a surprise to see you here. It shouldn't be. You are present at the grand ball tonight. Now answer me honestly. Cinders. Yeah, I was, Captain. Then I'm afraid I must arrest you. What? Bitch, we were gonna run away together. Bloody? I can't believe it. But why? She did nothing wrong. Attendance without a proper formal invitation is a serious breach of security and is considered as action endangering the prince. Well, well, attendance without a genuine invitation? Cinders, how could you have done such a thing? But I haven't done anything to endanger the prince. Surely you must take that into consideration when you decide my case. I don't know what your reasons were, but this is to come out during questioning. Royal justice has never been known for its soft approach to traitors, my dear. Lady Carmosa, please refrain from commenting. I would like to make this as easy as possible for everyone. Very well, girls. Let this man do his duty. I wasn't saying anything, you old hag. But, Cinders, why did you do it? Breaking the law doesn't sound quite like you. I guess it's too late to wonder about that now, isn't it, Captain? I never could quite understand her. I could never quite I never could quite understand. No, that is wrong. Could understand her. And how she simply crossed the line. If you must take her, take her. Know that this house respects the royal law. Cinders, I'm going to arrest you now. Don't do anything stupid. I'll escort you from here and make sure everything is as it should be. You'll be fine, I promise. You are very kind, Captain, but there is no need for that. She is accustomed to hard treatment, so she'll manage. And let us not forget, she did endanger the prince. Yes, I can see what one may or may not be accustomed to here. Would anyone else like to try and tell me how to do my job? Good. Cinders, are you ready? How can I be ready for my own arrest? But yeah, do what you must. I mean, you got handcuffs? Wink. Get the feeling you might be the lucky one, Cinders, actually breaking free from all this family business. If the guard asks you whether you're ready to be arrested, I want to trade places with you. Sophia! Can we go now, Captain? In the name of the prince, I am arresting you. Now follow me. Good night, ladies. Captain! Oh, Captain. That's whatever. What's going to happen to her? It was so rash of her to break the law. Gloria, you are officially a cliché idiot. Besides, wasn't all that unusual? Are we running away together? It was the plan! What do you think, my dear Captain? Was that convincing enough? You were perfect, Cinders. That was quite a performance. That's good to hear. I was improvising. You caught me by surprise, you know. But I do like the role play, so you know, wink wink nudge nudge. How about cueing me in next time you plan to put my acting skills to a test? For a moment there, I was actually wondering whether you really had come to arrest me. There wasn't much time to come up with a better plan. I was improvising myself. However, seeing how well you coped, I'd say it was for the better. Not that it matters. I informed His Royal Highness about my decision to quit the service, and Carmosa shouldn't suspect a thing, at least for a while. I reckon it should give us enough of an advantage to get far away from here. We're on the run. I won't lie, I'm a bit nervous. Are you? Yes, I am, but about a different thing altogether. Escaping is only the beginning. I'm wondering about how our life will look afterwards. I know we talked about it, but it's different from actually standing here, looking at the road and wondering what lies ahead. It won't be easy, that's certain, but what really matters is that we're breaking free. From now on, we'll be able to actually decide about what we do with our lives. Maybe we'll find a quiet town to settle in. Or maybe we'll become a pair of famous adventurers. No matter. The point is, it's going to be something we actually want to do. Instead of having others tell us what we should be doing, yes. And the best part about this new life is, even if it's bad, not really satisfying or fulfilling, at least it's something we chose ourselves. I, for one, can say my life so far hasn't been the best of all possible lives, and I know exactly whom I should thank for it. But the tricky thing about blaming others is that it doesn't really change anything save our own level of comfort. It's easy to say things are beyond our reach. The way you speak about freedom, Cinders, it makes me think it was actually worth it to abandon everything and go chasing after this dream of yours. My dear Captain, the way I see it, there's nothing else worth chasing after. So what will it be? A life of adventure and risk, or comfort and routine? Call me an old fool, but unlike some younger people I know, I'm not that swift to forget about the man I've been all my life. I haven't yet said farewell to him. I know I'll miss the palace, my service, my prince, even if it was all a facade for a lonely life. That's right, get close. I won't be alone anymore. Yes, there's that. I am meant to speak to you about it. about us. I'd like to know where I stand when it comes to our relationship. I can't blame you for asking, but the truth is I've been wondering about that myself. We simply don't know each other that well to decide, I think. What we do know, however, is that we share common goals and a certain disregard for those who break the rules important to us. Well said. You did manage to understand me better than I understood myself. Who knew we could have so much in common? So, whatever the future may bring, whatever happens to us, let's leave it in the future's domain. Exactly. What's important is that as long as we're together, we can protect and support each other. About that you are right, my friend. Say, aren't you curious what's behind that curve? I'm dying to find out. Let's go! Ah, yeah. A few hours earlier. Oh god, please tell me she's around. Please tell me that, like, he brought her as a surprise. Like, am I gonna have my ending? My threesome polyamorous ending? It's you. What do you want? Charming as usual, love. Never big on those social niceties. Guess I can't blame. What do you want? I don't know how to make her stern. Like, she's way too, like, doesn't work for me. Me? Oh, you know me. I want nothing. I have everything I need, except some information about that pet project of yours, maybe. Listen to me, old man. I have no time to play your games. Ask me and be gone. The girl, love. The little bird who wanted to fly free from her cage. Her? She's none of your business. I'd advise you to stay away from her. None of my business? Even after the small, if not crucial part I played in her personal drama? Even you must admit that I was a bloody good supportive actor, eh? That's supporting, and yes, you had your part in all this, alright? Alright, it doesn't really matter now anyway. If you must know, all is going well. I'll keep the word I gave to Cinders' mother, and help her achieve the goal she chose for herself. Will you, love? That's a tad unlike the Geed I remember. Bending this gal's path according to her own whim, playing her like she was your doll. Interesting. Weren't you always the one with mouthful of those nice words like independence? Not so big on practicing what you preach, though. Oh well, methinks it must be different to let people make up their own mind when there's so little time, and you were in a hurry to run as usual, eh, Geed? I can see what you're trying to do here, and it isn't working. I help the girl with making her own decision. It is hers, as will be the consequences. Ha ha ha! Some achievement that is. The girl's born pretty as a picture, smart as a demon, and protected by friends her mother made, and bound by a dying wish. Now there's a mighty fine start for being independent and making one's own decisions. Bitterness takes the better of you, old man. That it does, madam, that it does. Guess freedom ain't what it used to be, eh, love? Cinders broke from her stepmother's clutches and paved a new path for herself. Now she truly is free to do whatever she wishes with the rest of her life. In my book, that's a success, love. Nah, you don't really believe... Wait. Nah, you don't really believe she can keep up that stout pose for long now, do you, love? We both know what will happen with when all her crutches leave her. No Carmosa to blame, and no mysterious friend to look up to. The bird will get swept in the wind. But you fulfill the promise given to her mother, so your conscience is free. Begone, snake! I've had enough of your chatter. Oh, careful now, love. You don't make the same impression when your voice is all shaky. I must have hit a soft spot under this pretty armor, eh? I need to pack. I'll be leaving soon. Now, leave me. Now, let me be. Yes, run. Show us the strength and independent spirit that you really are. You'll run out of cities one day. Ooh, I got an achievement called Glass Slipper. Ooh, and a trophy. Ending. Finding happiness and freedom in her own birthright. Finding happiness and freedom in her own birthplace was not meant to be for Cinders. Ending. Sick of her life and her stepmother's games, she decided that the only way to find peace is to escape the town and start her life over. Though her travels don't spare her hardships, she finds the sense of her newly found freedom invigorating and is ready to take whatever life throws at her. At least she's not alone. Captain Peril decided to leave his old life of duty and take his chance by escaping with a curious girl he hardly knows. They become a pair of adventurers, living a short but intensive life that will be lauded in tales and songs for years to come. She thinks of her old family sometimes, but receives no news about their circumstances. She can't help but wonder what happened to Lady Carmosa and her daughters. These moments of nostalgia quickly pass, though, when she realizes that she lives a new life now, one that would be impossible if she decided to stay. Put to menu. We're good. Ooh, I've unlocked a new ending. What? You can view discovered endings using... You unlock endings? Oh! Oh! You look fabulous on the grand ball. You're awarded with the ball dress. Oh! For escaping to live the life of a traveler, you're awarded the glass slipper. Oh. Rewards. Ooh. Trophies are one game. Can I see what they are? I can't click them, so I don't know what these are exactly. Undiscovered path. What does that mean? Oops. You can use this menu to review the endings you discovered. Use the panel on the bottom to toggle between the unlocked variant. Oh, that's just... Huh. So I guess there's different... So this ending where I escape, I guess I can do it with other people? If I wanted? Does this just play... Yeah. Night. Okay, click through it, whatever. Alright. It's kind of neat, I guess. It kind of sucks that, like, there's no, like, final images or anything. And I guess, you know, we became adventurers. It doesn't say anything about, like, love, which kind of sucks. That's cool. So I guess, yeah, so I could, I guess, escape this place with, like, other people. That's neat, I guess. Yeah. And obviously one is, like, I think probably, like, mess up Carmosa's plans or whatever and, like, become the woman of the house or something, like look for the father's will. There's probably the prince ending, and then who knows. I don't really care to look for all the endings, so I'm not going to. But yeah, this wraps up Cinders. So yeah. That was a fun little game. Had no idea where it was gonna go. Especially because, like, if you're not following the typical route of Cinderella where you get with the prince, I was kind of curious to see what was going to happen. So, that's alright, I guess. I guess I'm a little disappointed because, like, it wasn't, like, another romance route. Like, nothing said that with Peril's ending there. We were just adventurers, and I guess we were together. You don't necessarily need the romance of it, but, like, love my romance. And Madame Guy didn't come with us. Aw. That's okay. Yeah. And we finished it in record time too, because I'm at the 2-hour mark for the stream, so perfect timing. But yeah, that was a cute little game. I'm not really interested in getting all the endings or anything like that, so if anyone watching this is interested in those endings, I'm sure you can find them or play it yourself if you'd like. But yeah, I'm calling it here, so yeah. Thank you for watching. My next stream will be tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, yeah, so tomorrow at 11 p.m. EST, I'm going to be doing some Stardew Valley. I'm gonna open up a multiplayer / co-op map, and maybe my friends are gonna join. So, oh hey, Argonaut, how's it going? You have a good night too. But yes, I'll be back tomorrow night, 11 p.m. EST, with like I said, Stardew Valley. So yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next stream, whenever that may be. So, bye!